Hello, Programming 12. We're going to be adding in a new screen today. I mean, you might already have a pause screen. We're going to put some interesting stuff on the pause screen that will allow us to upgrade our character. One of the typical features of the kind of game that we're making is an ability to, once you kill enough monsters or defeat enough enemies, you get points, and you can spend those points on upgrading your character. So things like, how much health you have, or how fast you go, or how much damage you do, can be upgraded over time. So this is a pretty standard thing. We're going to build that today. This is how I'm doing it. So inside of the Dungeon Crawl game, I can go to the pause screen, and now I have sort of an upgrade screen. So I can go through and choose to upgrade stuff. Right now I have no experience points, which is a typical kind of, I don't know what the word is, mechanic, I guess, in a lot of these games. Points you can gain by killing enemies and then spend them on upgrades. So none of these things do anything right now because I don't have any experience points to spend. So as I destroy the monsters, they'll give me experience points, and then I can upgrade. So all I can do is really return and go blow up some monsters, and I have like some really ridiculous overpowered gun right now, so I make it easy to go and kill the monsters. Maybe. Don't underestimate how bad I am at the game. You can see I have these little messages that come out, a little +5 that shows up. Oh, it's hard to talk and play. Little +5 that comes out. I kind of want to make that disappear a little bit faster instead of making it like fly all the way to the top of the screen. But whatever. I'm not. You guys can figure out that kind of thing. Also, you won't have sort of the glow effect going on for yours probably. So you might not have the multiple light sources going on, nor are you expected to. So yeah, it's all good. But the main thing is now that I have gained some experience points, I can go and check. I have 50 experience points. I'm not sure why I have so many, but that's fine. And I can upgrade things. So for example, just to demonstrate that we want this to work, I can crank up the speed. I'll put some into the hit points too. Sure. Now. I'm not saying this is very balanced yet. I actually don't like the fact that my speed can go up so fast. It's like my character now moves like quite quickly. Like, now that I have this bullet, like I can go faster than my own bullets, which is probably not good. So there needs to be some balancing here, but it doesn't really matter because those are things that you can work on. It's mostly just sort of like, how do we make this upgrade screen kind of work? The health bar also has now broken. You can see that it's like too big now. So I don't know if you can see it, but like the green bar is now sticking out of the edge of the frame. So these are some things I need to still work on, and you'll need to work on too. Although you might not have the health bar going on, so it might not be relevant to you to worry about. If you just have your health kind of printed, that's cool too. Okay, anyway, so that's the story about what we're going to try to implement, and let's just talk about sort of laying the groundwork for all this stuff. So first of all, in order to be able to make this kind of screen, these need to be things that your character can remember. How much experience points they have. What is the maximum amount of HP? Not just what is your current HP, but what is the maximum amount allowed. And then, what is your speed? I think that one we actually already have remembered. Back from the original videos, we talked about speed. Also, this damage is supposed to be a bonus that gets applied to any gun, so just sort of adding that on. So I'll focus on taking a look at speed, XP, and HP maximums, and we'll talk about that. So for the rest of this video, we'll just look at how we can set up the groundwork. So I'm going to close this. We'll take a look at where all this stuff is going to go. And personally, I'd like to put it into the game object class. Not everything needs these, but actually I think a lot of them do, and I feel like we might make use of these elsewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into the game object class. So you can see that game object has grown considerably for me. You might not need all these things, by the way. Some of these things like light radius is for the multiple light. So don't just go and type all these things down because you might not need them. But I have added in the following. I've added in damage. I've added in HP. Well, that was already there, but I've also added in HP max, which is sort of the most HP you can have. And that will be taken into account when you're healing. So when you heal, you don't go over the max. But we can, of course, raise the max when we upgrade. I also have XP. And I'll also mention that speed is now in the game object. previously it was in hero. So you'll want to delete the one that's in the hero class and move it over to speed. Now everything's going to have a speed, and I should probably go update my code in my enemy class so that I'm using a speed variable. You know, that just makes sense to sort of update my code to make it work with the new thing. So yeah, so that's basically all this information. XP is going to be, for the monsters, how much XP you get when you kill it. In the hero, it's going to represent your sort of accumulated experience points, like how many have you got, and that's that's a good place to start. So yeah, so make that change to your game object class, and then these are now things you can upgrade. In terms of the actual screen itself, it's not too hard to make, and I think just designing the screen will be a nice thing to do. My son actually helped me lay these out. He did the code to put down these things. Notice I'm using my button class. So the button class is a required part of this project, and so you can use it to make these features come alive. So all I'm doing is just printing out how much XP I have, my max hit points, my current speed, and the damage bonus. That's good. And then when I click on these buttons, if I have enough experience points, and I'm making it 5, just a flat 5 experience to upgrade any of these, then I can increase it. That's not necessarily how you want to do it. If you wanted to make this game more balanced, then each increase will cost more. So maybe the first time it costs 5, but then the next time it'll cost 6, 7, 8, and so on. Or maybe it doubles in price. Something like speed, you could definitely, if it doubled in price, I don't think it would be too much. So so that would be a good thing to add in. So go ahead and design this screen and get it ready for having these buttons ready to go and so on. In the next video, we'll take a look at how you can make it so that you can gain XP and spend the XP. But I think this video has gone on long enough, so I'm going to pause there so you can start doing things like lay out your the pause screen so that you have these buttons and these labels, and also to set up your game object class so that it's ready for these things. Okay, so go ahead and do those things, and I'll see you in the next video.